Welcome in to Duval Daily presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are talking about Bruce Smith staying salty after over 20 years that Tony Boselli gave him the business back in 1996. If you are a fan of the show, please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow myself, Jordan DeLugo, on Twitter, Generation Jaguar, at Generation Jag. Tony Boselli versus Bruce Smith. Let's take it back to December 28, 1996. The Jaguars and Tony Boselli, both the team and the starting left tackle, in their second years in the NFL. The Jaguars started playing football back in 1995. Tony Boselli, a rookie in 1995. They went into Buffalo. You know, this is a proud franchise that had done a lot of winning but couldn't get over the hump. Couldn't get over that Super Bowl hump. They could not win it after making it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row in the early to mid 90s. Jaguars went into Buffalo and took down the Bills. Tony Boselli whooped up on Bruce Smith all day. Yes, the same Bruce Smith who is the all-time leader in sacks and Hall of Famer. He didn't stand a chance against Tony Boselli. Fast forward to 2022. When Tony Boselli finally gets the call for the Hall of Fame, gets told that he's getting that gold jacket finally, guess who introduces him? None other than Bruce Smith. Now, several months later, Bruce Smith is in his feelings about this, and he took to Instagram to talk about Tony Boselli's Hall of Fame candidacy. And I'm just going to read it for y'all. A large part of the campaign to promote Tony Boselli into the Hall of Fame seems to hyper-focus on a single successful performance he had against me in a 1996 playoff game. On the one hand, I'm quite flattered to be considered the gold standard by which another player's game can be measured to determine his qualification into the Hall of Fame. But on a more serious level, I and other Hall of Famers believe that it sets a horrible precedent to negatively zero in on a standing member of the Hall's play in order to validate the candidacy of a nominee. The Hall of Fame is an exclusive fraternity that follows a tacit code of conduct which fosters respect and brotherhood between its members. Given the opportunity, any Hall of Famer could use his credentials to boast about his dominance over another member, but such behavior is deemed inappropriate because of the friction and discord it could create within the group. Maintaining harmony and goodwill in the Hall of Fame is paramount, and it's precisely why player campaigns have historically been presented respectfully and thoughtfully, allowing the candidate's stats and complete body of work to speak resoundingly for itself. Resorting to underhand tactics like targeting a Hall of Famer and hyping a one-game matchup to bolster a nominee's merit, as some of Tony's supporters have done, undermines the integrity of the Hall's election process. It also invites otherwise unnecessary commentary and scrutiny around that candidate's worthiness of becoming a member of the Hall of Fame. Since Tony's advocates have slid headlong down this slippery slope and dragged me unwillingly along, I have a few thoughts to share. Tony was a formidable opponent during his brief career, but I find it difficult to compare the totality of his body of work with those of the NFL's greatest left tackles. With the exception of legendary Anthony Munoz, Jonathan Ogden, Willie Roaf, and Walter Jones, all protected the blind side of the quarterback for 12 seasons or more. In Jacksonville, Leon Searcy bore the arduous task of protecting Mark Brunell's blind side, while Tony benefited from protecting the extremely talented, mobile, left-handed quarterback. During my 19 years in the NFL, several outstanding left tackles, such as Bruce Armstrong, Richmond Webb, and Will Wilford, all had stellar games against me. Perhaps they, too, would be wise to build Hall of Fame campaigns highlighting that fact. Signed, Bruce Smith, Hall of Fame, 2009, NFL 100 team, all-time sack leader. Couple things, Bruce. A, yes, let's get that Leon Searcy Hall of Fame talk rolling. All about it. B, Tony might not have been on the blind side, but he was going up against the best of the best every single week on the left side. In the NFL in the 1990s, they didn't have defensive ends moving around the formation consistently. Tony Boselli was lined up against you in 1996, wasn't he? Handed you the business. Okay. C, let's not pretend Tony Boselli is the only dude with a short career in the Hall. Look no further than TD, Terrell Davis. And by the way, Davis deserves to be there. So does Tony Boselli. D, one game. This man wrecked the league for over half a decade, made the Pro Bowl 5 times, All-Pro 3 times, was named to the All-Decade team in the 1990s, and yes, he did whoop your ass in a playoff win. Are you telling me that playoff games don't matter more? The Jaguars' playoff record was pretty damn impressive when Tony Boselli was on the left side of that line. And E, if you're in a fraternity and Tony Boselli is now in said fraternity, why are you going on Instagram to talk about him and his candidacy? Is that what a brother would do? Are you respecting Tony as you talk about in your post? Doesn't sound like it to me. Does not sound like it to me. Stay salty, Bruce Smith. Stay salty that you never won a Super Bowl with your Buffalo Bills. Stay salty that Tony Boselli whooped your ass in 1996. That's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in, Duval. Hit me up on Twitter at Jordan DeLugo and follow Generation Jaguar at Generation Jag. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube and check genjag.com for all the latest Jaguars news, analysis, and Duval gear.